Depth of delving as a series of probing questions is an important tool we could all adopt while we interact in general discussions and even with our own minds. If the teacher takes a religious stance, the teacher may say, "That is what our holy book says." A religious listener would find this response satisfying. If the teacher takes a scientific stance, they would say something like, "It was published by Jim et al. In 2020. A science-oriented student may be content with this response. If we were to constantly question a person who struggles to provide answers, our line of questioning would eventually reach the point of "I do not know." This is when it becomes necessary to pause and consider what we know and do not. This exercise helps us understand the limits of knowledge in any given context or discussion. That is what I call the Socratic mode, a relentless and persistent questioning. Belief imparts peace, doubt chases truth. Each of us has to pick our battles, peace or truth. Asking a series of why questions can indicate a lack of trust, which may be seen as offensive. Being skeptical is challenging and can invite hostility. However, skepticism is the default position when accuracy is desired. On the downside, being skeptical is a demanding and arduous task. Should we set aside the brain's natural inclination to differentiate between what is beneficial and what is not? Furthermore, skepticism requires self-reflection and control over our natural reactions, creating a strenuous internal dialogue. It is exhausting to scrutinize every step and event in our daily lives. The unfortunate aspect is that skepticism needs to be extended to every person, including those we love. In such a case, what does trust even mean? Living a life without trusting anyone in terms of information is excruciating. There is simply not enough time to verify every piece of incoming information. Whether we choose to trust or doubt, both options come with difficulties. Perhaps we must choose our battles wisely. It would be appropriate to be skeptical in some aspects, but not in others. However, I attempted this approach and failed miserably. So let us leave it at that. Information sifting for reliability is tough. Sometimes it can be demanding, and we must decide whether it is worth verifying. It does not matter at all to me that we have no absolute certainty that Socrates even existed. The records of his life and his words are secondhand. Almost, but not quite as much as are the books of the Jewish and Christian Bible and the Hadiths of Islam. Philosophy, however, has no need of such demonstrations because it does not deal in revealed wisdom. Now, as it happens, we do have some very good descriptions of the life of Socrates that make his existence to me plausible. But it does not matter to me at all whether he was real or not. What matters is that someone advanced his method of reasoning, his testing of evidence against experience, his commitment to a certain kind of dialectical honesty. If it had not been him, it would have been someone else. That is what is precious to me. And that he never said, "You've got to believe in everything I say or go to hell or heaven." Christopher Hitchens.